Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Break It Down. Let's enter Dresden and take care of any housekeeping. And then we'll head to the Murky Grotto. Hail. Dorgalinda's one eye is red from sleepless nights on the job. The supply situation is improving, but too slowly. Once the fellows of the Crusade lost their connections in the quartermaster service, they switched to dealing with the cart drivers directly. Each supply caravan loses a cart or two on the way, and its driver tells us tall tales about how they were attacked by demons, or how a Vrock swooped in and carried off an entire cart. We catch these jokers, but it's getting out of control. We can't get them all. We need to change something in the system itself. I propose we have inspectors from the Mendevian treasury travel with each caravan. Someone experienced. Someone who's ready to answer for the delivery with their life. And who knows how to keep the cream away from the cat, so to speak. There's a simple rule. If you can't beat 'em, lead 'em. We'll drop a hint to the brains of this lot to stick to us and fall in line. If they don't act up too much, they'll get their new uniforms and extra rations. And we'll get the loyalty of some of the big-name leaders among the soldiers. So soldiers are stealing from their own comrades. Like cats... What was it you said, Dorgalinda? Like the cream that got the mouse instead of the cat. In any case, this is wrong. We must convince them. Let the caravans be accompanied by priests from the capital. Under their eyes, the warriors will be ashamed to steal. So what I don't understand is how she doesn't know all these phrases. She spent a long time seducing mortals as a succubus. She should understand mortal mannerisms and speech. But I understand that's part of her design. She's supposed to be a little naive, but I don't agree with it. We overlooked their antics when it was just clandestine trades, but theft must be dealt with quickly and severely. Tell me more about your plans. Gladly. Woljif, what are you suggesting? Get the sharpest and most ambitious on the take. I said the lake. That doesn't make any sense. The rest of the big shots will take the hint. We don't mind smart subordinates who can find a way to get what they want. As long as they don't cross us. And that's it. No more thefts. Why bother when we'll give it to them anyway? And the saps and the slouches will just have to settle for what they have. That's the saps' way. So you're saying we should make the thieves the commander's trusted officers? Then I suggest we just dub this gang the Crust Raiders. We can make an announcement that we're conducting the first Crust Raid in history. Arushalai, what would you do? I know it can sometimes be very difficult to do the right thing, the noble thing, especially when no one is there to witness your worst deeds and judge you for them. Which is why we need to have priests accompany our caravans from the capital. Who would have the heart to commit a crime when a servant of the gods is watching them? I'm sure there are no such scoundrels among our warriors. Wow, that's some solid advice right there. We should totally try stopping thieves and robbers by appealing to something they don't have. A conscience. I agree with Woljif on that one. Lan, do you explain your idea? You know, I'm tired of hearing that we can't do anything about these fellows. I suppose we can't really root out petty fraud. But we're talking about blatant, large-scale theft here. About acts of sabotage against the Crusade. It's no wonder Mendev is cutting our supplies. They see that we can't even keep our own soldiers in line. Enough is enough. We'll find the most prolific thieves, and they'll hang. It's easy to forget Land is actually lawful neutral. But he is. Once this is resolved, Neurosine will stop worrying that the coin they spend on us will end up in the pockets of marauders and thieves. But it's not those poor people's fault that they became criminals. The Mendevian army recruited them, but it can't provide everything they need. And now we're going to hang them for it. How is that right? Dorgalinda, what would you advise? There's no question that the cart drivers are in cahoots with the fellows. I imagine they get a cut of the stolen goods. Let's assign a gutsy treasury worker to each caravan. Someone to keep an eye on them and see that everything is delivered in full. And they could do some good here in Dresden too. We always need more people who know how to mount an expedition and organize troops on the march. To whip our logistics into shape. Everything is clear to me now. So which option are you going for? I also feel like Dorgalindas might lead to unnecessary deaths. If you get a plucky enough thief, they'll just kill the caravan master. But that's pretty good. Army has plus 15 additional movement points. So Woljip's favoritism. Experience gained by general increases by 33%. I don't care for that. Arushalai, reminder of piety. Energy points income increases by 7. And land, material points income increases by 20. So as a lawful good paladin, I mean, Arushalai is right to a point with land's option, because some may think they need that extra stuff. And they may actually need it. The supply system, I'm sure, isn't perfect. But everyone's being punished for it. So I think I might go with Dorgalindas, roleplay-wise. If I was playing a Hell Knight, I'd go with lands for sure. But to give them the benefit of the doubt, like the good part of my lawful good paladin, I might take this one. Plus, it's a really good feat. All generals gain the Caravan Master's feat. Dorgalinda. Arrange for treasury workers to escort our caravans. Yes, Commander. I'll send the letters today. They'll have plenty of work in Dresden, too. They know their business. They'll help us keep the army organized during marches. It will be done. I hope our caravans will be safe from now on, but I have a feeling this will be the last time we have to convene the council to address a problem relating to the fellows.
Watch it.
Oh, I see resources. Absolutely. Being an advisor in the Citadel has got to be super annoying. Yeah, so probably put this one southeast next to Canabras. That's more for Act 5, because we shouldn't have to go back to Canabras until Act 5. And the other one we'll do is camp on the ferry. Let me go ahead and make sure we've got... Yeah, let's go build more stuff here, so that it's ready to upgrade when the time comes. Barracks, stables, and archery range. Okay, we'll rest up and we'll head to the Murky Grotto. We'll have to bounce back and forth between the Murky Grotto and Dresden a few times. Yeah. All of that. Those advisors have to sit there and listen to it and see it. You heard the saying about there should be no pockets in a shroud. I'm not planning to wear my shroud anytime soon. Sorry, wear a shroud. My current clothes suit me well. They so happen to have plenty of pockets.
I'm always ready.
Oh, whoops. The quartermaster smiles and lowers his voice. I've got a little something for you, Commander. Like a conjurer, Buster produces a fairly large purse from somewhere under his shirt. The lads decided to chip in. Been taking care of us, Commander, so we decided to take care of you. Please take this gift. Get yourself a magic ring or a new helmet. I'll be very happy if you do. Take this gold, and I'll have you raise a glass to my health instead. The quartermaster blushes slightly. It's supposed to be a gift for you, but I'll do as you say. There'll be many wishes of good health and toasts to your name later this evening, Commander. Alright, don't need that. Don't need that. Really don't need this, but... I don't have a druid in the party, so that doesn't help us. Get rid of that. That... I could sell it, but... no reason to right now. I think both of our animal companions are equipped, right? Ah, shoot. We need stuff. The bismuth can be a little annoying to keep equipped.
I am never wrong.
$15 hours. That's already 12. So it might be faster. Alright, let's beat him up. Ow. Let's continue on our way. So Murky Grotto will probably end up gaining a level, and we're going to get a lot of gold. Loxus. Maybe I should keep the animal companions out and do this instead. So you can't Move him. Get a little tedious trying to use Sunshine's abilities. Alright, Murky Grotto. Inside this gloomy cove, an underground river runs close to the surface. Nobody knows how deep its waters flow. Some say they reach the abyss itself. And some would be right. Spoiler alert.
No reason to pause.
I'm gone.
We don't have to buff up yet. I don't think.
We do it my way.
I can't get up there. Never mind.
Follow if you dare.
Helmsman and a chaplain. Over here, Landwalker. The fat, pale-skinned creature is squinting with visible displeasure, shielding its bulging eyes with its webbed hand. It's so disgustingly bright, even in this cave. Why don't you come with us on a voyage? I can tell you everything you need for the journey. You do want to come back, don't you? Tell me about yourself. Me? Is there anything interesting to tell at all? What do you want to know? Who are you? My name is known to the waves, but you can call me the chaplain. Watch over that helmsman fellow and his ship, and over the brave ones who set out to conquer Ishiar, or to become its food. Tell me about Ishiar. Away from the world of mortals, at the very roots of creation, in the place where the abyssal darkness verges on the great nothingness, lies Ishiar. The endless primeval ocean that spawned all and will someday consume all. The proud demon lords of their realms are not but flecks of foam on its surface. You're a cleric. What power do you serve? I serve a power older than mortals and demons. The shadow in the depths. The originator of water salt and fresh. The one who awaits you, my child. You and anyone who dares go to sea. Perhaps not today, not tomorrow, but sooner or later, your travels will bring you to him, the very bottom of the abyss. The shadow in the depths. The chaplain serves Dagon, the demon lord who rules over oceans and sea monsters. Yeah, I think a lot of the Cthulhu mythos deities exist in Pathfinder. There's another... I found another note about the deep ones. It might be in Kingmaker. What do you sell? Anything you could possibly need on your travels. Weapons, armor, potions, scrolls. Should you return from your voyage alive, don't forget to stop by. Often have new wares to sell. Thank you for your answers. No thanks needed. Alright, I need the help of a cleric. Well, that'll be no trouble at all, but it will cost you. You can buy a scroll with any spell you need from me. I'll read it for you here on land. But don't think about sailing off without a cleric. The sea easily swallows those who dare to rely on their own strength alone. Show me your potions and scrolls. So he does sell... I think he sells everything. I haven't gone through all the scrolls, but I mean, he sells a lot. As you can tell. I could buy these now. You can find these later on, too. Some of them. Some of them I think you can only get here. But it would be a bad idea to buy a lot of these ingredients, because they're fairly cheap. And they do restock. I think in the next act. It also sells the max Scroll Scribers kits and the Alchemist kits. 99 dinosaur bones, which is really good. Yeah, all this stuff is probably worth buying. The ingredients, because you can run out. It's also the only place you can buy a whole bunch of the rarer ingredients, I think. Like the crystallized demonic rage, demonic hearts. I think those are harder to come by. And some of the more powerful recipes call for those. Used to be chocolate ice cream was the best. So these two that are a little bit more expensive, I think you can only buy here. I could be mistaken about that. But let's go and grab all these. It's good to have options available. And then, at the very least, we want to buy a whole bunch of the... purifying solutions. That's the base for any recipe. So for, like, the hearty meal, you need just one of these. Alright, come see my merchandise. Why not buy something? Maybe you don't want to be swallowed by the dark depths too soon. Want to keep walking on your dry land, don't you? Show me what regular equipment you have. I don't think he sells anything unique, but I could be misremembering. That's probably worth it. Buy one of those. Then again, maybe not. We do have a pretty high trickery skill. Yeah, just Masterworks. Later on, I think he sells +4s or +5s. Do these stack? Is that an untyped? Okay, it is not. They do clash. Alright, the helmsman.
Step closer, treasure. Young, strong, and brave. Just who I need. Tell me, how would you like to get your hands on incredible riches?
A hunched creature wrapped in a threadbare cloak is beckoning to you with its long, crooked finger. Its quiet, hoarse voice is more akin to the creaking of rusty metal than normal speech. Who are you?
Call me the helmsman.
What kind of riches are you talking about?
Oh, the greatest treasure in the Midnight Isles. I know the way. I have a ship, but I am too old and frail to claim the treasure on my own.
Where is your expedition headed?
Straight into the abyss. Don't worry. I have no stake in this foolish invasion, this farcical war. The veil between the planes is thin in this place. That is why I came here in search of brave souls. Our voyage will take us to neutral waters, to the Midnight Isles, which lie in the ocean of Ishia.
Deal. With a satisfied nod, the man beckons you aboard the boat.
We should move.
Alright, welcome to the boat. Hello, treasure. Who are you? Call me the helmsman. Who are you who exactly are you? Tell me about yourself. I'm the one who knows the way to the treasure. The one with the ship. I have no more to say. What can you tell me about your navigator? She's a good girl. Clever. Hardworking. She knows so much about the seas. All those winds and currents. Yes. She has turned out to be a true gem for my ship. What sort of treasure are we looking for? Do you know what the Midnight Isles are made of? Corpses. A collection of dead demon lords slain by the queen of the succub. The helmsman breaks into a dry coughing fit. The first and greatest among them was Nahindri, who is rich beyond imagining. His treasures still lie scattered across the archipelago's islands. And each one points the way to another of greater value, like links in a chain. They'll guide us into Nahindri's most prized jewel. It is mine. Mine, you hear? Mine. The sudden flash of emotion causes the helmsman to start coughing again. I don't need the rest. Gold, gems, enchanted items, anything you find will be yours. Just keep collecting the links of the chain for me. Help me claim the dead demon lord's treasure. I have to go. Hi there. You're with the new crew, right? The elf with weathered features gives you a friendly smile. She's holding a thick, tattered notebook. I'm Asilla, the navigator. Wherever we may be sailing, I'll help you get there. What's your job on the ship? Unseen winds blow over Ishiar, and undertows lurk beneath its surface. No one knows them all, but I wouldn't be bragging if I said, alright, I'll brag a little. This here notebook contains the names and directions of at least a quarter of them. Asilla proudly pats the cover of her thick notebook. Usually I charge a tidy sum for my work, but you lot are in luck. This ship goes out to places so fascinating that I come back with new notes every time. So me and the helmsman, we have a deal going. My services in exchange for the opportunity to conduct my research without having to go ashore. Tell me about the winds and the undertows. Every voyage is favored by an unseen wind of fate. I've seen many winds in my time. Some brought fortune, some hardships, and some unimaginable oddities. But I've never seen a wind like the one that favors you. She freezes, as if listening to something imperceptible to mortal ears, then licks her finger, holds it up in the air, and nods in satisfaction. Just as I thought. There are those who obediently go wherever fate takes them, but not you. You yourself drive the wind of your fate, and it only grows stronger. It's not even a wind anymore, more of a hurricane. The waves you leave in your wake will be crashing against Galarian and other planes of existence for many years to come. For some people, this journey would be their life's shining moment, but for you, it seems to be more of a brief, leisurely cruise. Now, undertows are a whole different story. They're treacherous and fickle, and you'll feel their influence both on deck and on the shore. Whenever you land on an island, make sure to check which current has brought you there, but you might never return. Will you help us fight? Of course not. I'm a navigator, not a cutthroat. But I will help you get this bucket to where fights and treasures await you. Let me stress that they await you, not me. I have to go. The sea calls. Ready for new adventures?
I'm off.
Some guard golems on the boat. They don't come into play at all. If we go up here, there'll be a spot to camp.
I do what I must.
We go back to Galarian at any time on the boat. If we go over here and hit continue voyage, we can select the island. So you have to do them in order. Just follow the arrows as you go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 the first time you visit the Midnight Isles. And then much like the Beneath the Stolen Lands DLC for Kingmaker, you can unlock the next series of islands or the next series of levels in Kingmaker until you've reached a certain act. So in Act 4, there's another section of this DLC, then Act 5, there's the final section. I do recommend buffing up before you land on an island, so when you go to continue voyage and click on the island, you get transported to that island. and then you'll return to the ship, and then go to the next island. You want to buff up on the ship, because when you go to the islands, there are these debuffs that the Navigator talked about, the undertows. And they can have various effects. Sometimes they're beneficial, sometimes they're detrimental, sometimes it's a bit of both. Sometimes those detriments are tied to your spell casting. Sometimes, I think there's one or two that have a spell failure chance. So, buff up on the ship. No time passes between here and going to the island. So you don't lose anything by doing that.
My tail is restless.
Let me help.
And away we go. Every island, well, just about every island. I think there's a couple exceptions. Some islands have like a dock theme where you fight, I think, pirates or cutthroats or something. I don't think they have any hidden doors, but every other island has at least one hidden door to find.
We do it.
Can we retreat already?
To the fray!
Can't hide from me.
Cover me, all right?
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
No! Without risk! The Emperor, guide my blade! Into the fray!
You won't survive me.
There's also a lot of traps, especially on these first few islands, and they're oftentimes directly in your party's way.
Pretty good, aren't I?
During combat, which you don't see a lot in the base campaign. Happens a few times in some of the larger dungeons, but for the most part, there aren't like strategically placed traps.
Begone, fiend!
Because alchemists are throwing force bombs. You don't have a way to resist force damage. I don't think there's any items that provide it. There's no way to cast a spell to give you force resistance, if I remember correctly. I don't remember every spell in the game. And they've added more spells too. And not all of them I'm familiar with.
I'm off.
That's why force damage is so good, because it's really hard to resist. I mean, there are some forms of DR in the game where you can resist damage that way, and that one set of armor gives you 25% damage reduction.
Hit another obstacle. Fall!
Alright, let's just do this.
Endure this! I will bring down divine wrath! Eternal road, I call upon you! Can't hide from me.
The goddess protects us.
I do what
I really don't need to pick up the loot that these guys drop, so that's the first hidden door. You just pick it up at the end of the island. We can use some potions. We have plenty of potions, and I hardly use them anyway. This stage of the game.
I'm gone.
It's a pretty fun DLC. I mean, it's nice to have more combat to test your characters and builds. Though it does make the game far easier because you get some really powerful loot, especially the first boss. So on the 13th island, this first set of islands, I think it's the 13th. It's not the same amount of islands each time. I think it's like 13, 11, then 15 or something like that.
There's something here.
I don't steal. I encourage people to save the poor, helpless tieflings around the world. Starting with me. This is my kind of work. Fine.
Actually, let's do this.
We will win this war.
Oh, me? I'm here. Where else?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
This will be quick.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
No glory without risk.
But unlike the, well, no, there's another boss fight, isn't there? I remember there being 4 final boss fights, right? There might be more mini-bosses that I'm getting confused with boss fights. But unlike the, Beneath the Stolen Lands DLC in Kingmaker, there isn't like a secret objective to this one. There's a pretty complicated side quest in Beneath the Stolen Lands. We had to collect notes a certain way, and if you get the notes before you defeat the boss, you don't get the secret ending for the DLC.
We do it my way.
We won't fall here. I swear
I want
it.
Wolf up front, so that's alright.
The light take you!
Don't hold back! Strike! Did you see that?
Into the fray!
The islands don't last that long, but they're not very large areas, as you can tell. So one round of buffs is usually enough to get you through. And there are some statues you can find that basically act as a rest, so you don't have to rest. Because when you rest on the boat, you do gain corruption. Which is why I said earlier you have to bounce between the Murky Grotto and Dresden a few times.
Something over there.
Alright, here's our first boss fight, or mini-boss fight.
My will is
My
resolute.
tail is restless. You sure it's safe? This is my kind of work. I can do this. Maybe.
I will help where I can.
I never activated that.
Something wrong?
I'm always ready.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your
Together
eyes.
we
Don't
stand.
mind me.
The world has suffered enough.
We don't need to do all this. This fight is not difficult, but I have it, so I'm going to use it.
I'm all ears.
Rely on me.
Be gone,
Did we find
fiend!
trouble?
No.
Yeah, Sulfin, the Jailer's Scourge.
Make every strike count.
He's chaotic evil, so we'll use Mark of Justice to start focusing him down.
You should have performance is lacking. You are
Oh, never mind. He died too fast. So we got Evercold, which I think is the best crossbow in the game. Most of the crossbows are pretty junk, but I think Evercold and again, I could be getting that one mixed up with one that you find in the DLC, not through the Ashes, it's sequel, The Lord of Nothing. We don't get that crossbow in this campaign, though, so never mind. That's I don't think you do. Anyway, Evercold. Whenever this +1 heavy crossbow makes its first attack during a round, it shoots 2 bolts at once. If both attacks hit, the target must make a Fortitude saving throw DC 25, or take additional 2d6 cold damage and become staggered for 1 round. That's a really good crossbow, and it is a +1, but with greater magic weapon, you can make it into a +5, and you can use it the entire playthrough.
I do what I must.
I didn't read the undertow effect. I need to remember to do that going forward because they can be pretty detrimental. So it's important to keep them in mind. I don't know, I guess you could ignore them. So over here you see the undertow. So right now it's aquatic elemental undertow. This island is affected by a magical undertow flowing beneath it. You can find elemental pillars on it. Creatures within a 30-foot range of a pillar gain fire resistance 5. Periodically, whirlpools with a radius of 10 feet appear in random spots on the island, dealing 1d6 bludgeoning damage and 1d6 cold damage to all creatures caught in them. I wish I remembered what the first one was. So in the standalone campaign version of this DLC, it's all randomized. It acts as more of a roguelike. And you can put stuff in that one treasure chest. Well, I guess we don't have that treasure chest in the main campaign. There's another treasure chest on the boat that you can actually talk to in the standalone campaign and put items in to keep between runs. So that's your meta progression in the roguelike. Or I guess roguelite in this case. And these will also be randomized in the roguelike version, along with the islands themselves. But in the main campaign, it's all set, so you know what to expect each island each time you play through. Which is just how the Kingmaker one worked as well. Alright, I am going to call it here though, and next time we will do the next island. And keep on pushing through. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.